Hello YouTube, this is HunterSerge of the Brawler Cafe. So I'm sure you have already heard about the Age of Aurelus Prereleases, which are coming at the end of the month. And recently we got info basically from LGS owners who have been contacted, as far as I'm aware, basically on the details. And Ventus Knight has essentially confirmed that yes, this is how this is going to work. It would be nice if we could ever get this stuff just announced. From what Ventus Knight says, it's just that he didn't have the go ahead yet. But this is ridiculous. We should have this should have just been announced when the locations were announced. We should have had these whatever. I understand that it's a rush job, but it's fairly ridiculous that who knows when we will have gotten these details? Who knows? We have no clue. We only know them now because they got leaked. But regardless, let's get into it because there's some good stuff here. There's some bad stuff here. We're going to talk about it. So basically, 32 players. We already knew that. Now, this is one of the big things I have an issue with. 32 players is too many. So we already know from Montekev that the kit itself costs 400 USD. So the thing here is no one has 32 players in their local community. No one has that many. And while it would be great if people were to come in from farther away, you shouldn't be constructing your pre-release kits for 32-player IMO. That's just my takeaway. From what I hear, most locals are around most of the locals that are going are around 10 or so people. So it's 32 people is a really big ask. It's a really, really big ask. And $400 is that price for the kit is because it's for 32 players rather than, say, smaller ones built for 8 people. That stores can order more of to run a larger pre-release. That's a general concept. That's how I'm used to it running in Bush Road games, which is the main game that I've played a bunch of pre-releases for. I'm not sure exactly what the sizes tend to be for Yu-Gi-Oh! Or MTG or Pokemon, but that's what I'm used to for Vanguard. So yeah. Now here's the other thing. It's a $40 entry fee, which is really, really high. Now the reason for this is that every participant is getting a starter set as well as Age of Aurelus boosters. And there's some problems with this, how this works. But there is some silver lining to this that we'll get into in a bit. Basically, okay, so VK has that's why it's $40. That makes sense. $30 starter plus 3 or 4 packs, that makes the $40 price tag makes sense. But it kind of ties into the really bad pricing of the starter sets in the first place. I've talked about this a lot in the past, particularly on one of the discussion videos I did with Leth, the one following the GameStop events. That the starter sets cost too much. They do not trading cards do not cost much to produce. And the general mentality that Spin Master seems to have taken when they're determining the price for the starter sets is, okay, starter decks tend to be $10, $15. 3 Bakugan in a starter pack is $20, so 20 plus 10 equals 30, right? But that's not competitive. And the cards do not cost that much, anywhere near. We could probably really easily drop this to 30 if, say, the starter sets were priced IMO. What they should have done is starter sets shouldn't exist. Starter packs and battle packs should just have decks in them. That's just what I think it should be. I think it's really dumb that you can get 3 Bakugan and not have a TCG deck. And cards are inexpensive enough that you can do that. You can do that. So yeah, that's why that price is there. Now there's another problem here. I've asked VK about how this is gonna work. Haven't received a response yet. But as you may be aware, now these starter sets are confirmed again to be the BR starter sets. Here it is, BR starter sets. That's confirmed. Here's the problem. One of those starter sets is really badly mispackaged. You might remember, you might be aware that the Darkest Hydronoid starter set is really badly mispackaged. It has the wrong character card for Pyrus Nilius, and the cores it comes with are incorrect for both Pyrus Nilius and Pyrus Nilius Ultra. They don't match at all. So that's going to be a bit of a problem there. That's going to be a bit of an issue. And like, I don't know. Like the whole star set thing, I'm not hugely fond of, especially since they're from the last set. I don't know. I don't think it's the best way to construct this. But the big issue I have with it is, okay, so it's clearly designed so that new players can come in and start with the pre-release. That's great. So since everyone is receiving 3 Bakugan anyways, why are we allowed to use our own Bakugan? VK has said this before. You can bring your own Bakugan. Why? Why is that a thing we can do? That flies in the face of what pre-releases are supposed to be. Since we're getting 3 Bakugan from the starter set anyways, why are we allowed to bring our own Bakugan? I don't understand. Why is this a thing? That's not fair to players who are less heavily invested, players who are just getting into the game. They're stuck with just the starter set stuff, which the Bakugan which have a tendency to not synergize well together, especially in the Bakugan Resurgence starter sets. And everyone else can just bring in whatever Bakugan, swap in strong base form Bakugan that match the factions, or BR Wave 2, BR Wave 3 Bakugan that they could potentially pull an Evo for. I don't know, it's really dumb. I think it's really bad. I think that's a really big misstep. The $40 fee, like, that needs to be cut down. And from what Ultravirus said, Ultravirus is quite a knowledgeable member of the Brawler Cafe Discord. He's in a bunch of the Brawlcon Discords, actually. But from what he said, the typical let me pull it up on my phone real quick. Yeah, so for other card games, it's usually around like 40 to 80% profit. This is 220%. This is 220% if you manage to sell all of them, which you're not, because it's 32 people and no one has 32 players. Like maybe Cali, maybe some places will get lucky and fill it out completely, but most places aren't going to make it. It's best of one, which isn't ideal, but it's pre-release, whatever. Okay, so now here's the really good stuff. The stuff I'm really happy about, and the stuff that kind of makes the 32 player kit make sense. So for pricing, we're getting the 4 2-player mats will be sent. So everyone who finishes in top 4 will get one of those. And also a Dragonoid limited edition set for the overall winner. Which is pretty great. That Dragonoid limited edition set is going to tank in value. It's going to have no value at all. But hey, that's pretty rad. That's pretty rad. I'm a fan of this concept. This is pretty good. That's good pricing. Now, ignore the Dragonoid limited edition set is obviously why it would have to be 32 players, because if you're getting the Dragonoid limited edition set, like if you order an 8-person kit, and if you get 2 or 4, like if you order 4 and you get 4 Dragonoid limited edition sets, well, that's a bit of a problem. That doesn't really work out. For the playmats, it obviously works because there's 4 in the 32-player kit. So if you take it down to 8 people, you just send 1 mat. Really easy. I don't know. Maybe it would be like if you order 4, you get the limited edition set. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So that's the whole thing. What else? I think I've said most of the things I wanted to really say about this. You really need... Now, the silver lining. Yes, the silver lining. I want to talk about that. There is a bit of a silver lining here. The silver lining is that... so since none of these stores are going to hit 32 players. Not a single one. So the fortunate thing there is that, hey, every LGS that participates in this is now going to have starter sets to sell. That'll have a pretty good profit margin while selling at MSRP. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good thing. As well as the extra Age of Aurelus booster packs. That's pretty great. That is good to hear. That is good to have. Not the way I think this should have been set up, but you know, yeah. There are some things I am rather happy with how this is being handled, but get those prices fixed, guys. Seriously get the prices fixed. Like, $40 pre-releases are not good. Like, and that's USD. I'm up here in Canada. That stuff's gonna be $50. $50 to $55. I know that's just the conversion rate, but like, that's a big number. That's a big number that a lot of people are not going to be super down with. I don't know. Like, that's not great. That is really not great. Yeah. Not too pleased with that price at all. Need to know how the Hydronoid star set is being handled. Now, they're just excluding the Hydronoid star set from it and just having them be 16 Nobilius and 16 Peruvian. That works. That fixes the problem. I don't know. I feel like there should be some sort of draft for the Bakugan themselves. Like, just not starter sets. I feel like you should be actually drafting with Age of Aurelus cards. Because, like, now this draft is going to be... These pre-releases are going to be a really weird draft format where it's not actually an Age of Aurelus draft because you're modifying a deck of all Bakugan Resurgence cards. It's really weird. Oh no, I don't really like it. It doesn't really fit in what pre-releases are supposed to be, in my opinion. The bring your own Bakugan made a lot more sense when we thought, oh, we're just drafting Age of Aurelus packs and we just bring whatever Bakugan. I don't know. They can certainly send Bakugan in smaller packages than that. Like they've sent, like with all those promotions they've done, like at theaters, and now they're doing it in K-Zone where they just have a single package Bakugan, not in just like a plastic baggie. And you just send a bunch of those along. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I'm still pretty excited for this, especially since I am very fortunate to that upper hand is known enough that we're basically surely in. I'm going to be rather irritated if we somehow don't get in after VK name dropping us in regard to pre-releases multiple times now. That's going to be really irritating. And I'm excited for further LGS support if like pricing like this is what we can expect. Like, not like limited editions to everyone, but like I think this is a relatively good sign for how pricing will be handled for the LGS support going forward. So I'm excited for that. But I really hope there's like some better product, like better starter level products that you're going to be making for LGSs, because like it's like $4 pre-releases aren't good, guys. They aren't good. That's a really bad price point. Like that's like twice as much as like a typical pre-release. That's not good. That's really not good. But yeah, I think I've belabored the point enough. But we know the deets now. get the deets out there. I tweeted it out. Hasn't been getting many retweets. Getting tons of likes. But then again, I did retweet it out like 3 in the morning, so I might retweet it to the cafe account again there so that more people see it. But regardless, yeah, excited for the pre-release. Hope it all goes well. Yeah. I'm actually still curious about how many packs we're getting. Like, I really want to know how many packs we're getting. But, yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Has some problems. Please work them out. Please work those out by the time you have the next pre-release. Because this is a more limited event. This is more for the hardcore fans. But next time, you're going to be going, like, with wider availability. And, like, $400 pre-release kits and $40 entry fee are probably not what you want to be going to those with. That's probably not what you want to be doing. So yeah, this is HunterSerge signing off.